I'm sad to say, I say this with no pride, that everything I predicted in that book has more than come true. And it's not that I'm so prescient, it's that once you know how to close an open society, you can predict what's going to happen. So everything, all the 10 steps are being actualized, and they're much further along than I could have even imagined in 2008. I mean, we basically have martial law now. Because we have the National Defense Authorization Act in 2012, which gives the president the power to seize anyone, anywhere, at his will or her will, and hold them indefinitely without charge or trial. We have a surveillance state, which was step number 4, I believe. And actually, we're seeing what's really scary to me, and you have a global audience, this is important, is that we're seeing exactly the same legislation introduced in democracy after democracy to close down people's remaining liberties. We're seeing surveillance bills in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and Britain. We're seeing, new curbs on the free press in, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Britain. We're seeing the sort of meme of the terrorist. You can do anything to the terrorist, and then dissent becomes, like, if you're a protester, you're a terrorist. You're seeing that in democracies around the world. So this is definitely a blueprint that's now global. We now have a kill list. I mean, it's incredible that I even can say this sentence. The president draws up a list of Americans to assassinate. Al-Awlaki was an American citizen. He took out Al-Awlaki without charge or trial, and he took out his 16-year-old son without charge or trial. So this is 1984. I mean, it's here, it's happening, and so the issue is to wake people up, and I think people are a lot more alert, to realizing that there basically kind of has been a coup. It's just more visible in certain places, and there's still, like, what people don't understand is you can have police state, essentially, and that's what I mean when I say a coup. Many aspects of America are now a police state, and other things seem to continue as normal. And so people kind of don't recognize that, oh my God, it's a police state, because it doesn't look like, grainy newsreels of 1933 in Germany. People are still shopping, they still vote. It's not like a blanket thing. But look at Ferguson in, the way the militarization of the police forces, which is the definition of a police state, is that instead of domestic police who are answerable to mayors who are elected by the people, you have this Department of Homeland Security sending for profit vast, tanks and
grenade launchers to schools. I mean, it's
snipers, and it's like, this is what happens in a war zone or a police state. This is not the United States of America. So it is here. And so our strategy now has to be how to fight back.
Right, and even mainstream publications like the Boston Globe, I mean, they're basically documenting the existence of a shadow government here, Naomi. They're saying that the NSA, the intelligence community, the surveillance state, operates just self-governing. It does not matter what voters do, who they pick. These agencies will be self-governing until we actually do something drastic, I guess. I mean, it's just amazing to see them kind of outlining that. And I think you're right. I think it's this guise of a democracy where there's this global blueprint all around the world, and people still think that we are free. And I guess that's the best slavery. That's the best tyranny, is when you think that you're free.